feeds.
Staying up till the morning light. No, you don't mind it. I think you like it. Always showing you wrong from right. I'll let you guide me. Just stay beside me. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. So I am lucky one. I am lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am lucky one. I am lucky one. I am lucky one. I am lucky one. Seasons change, but you're the same. Your love is constant. You've never lost it. Your voice is calling out my name. It makes me miss you, even when I'm with you. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. So I am lucky one. I am lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am lucky one. I am lucky one. I am lucky one. I am lucky one.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I am your host today. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and Speedy Talk is a program for the youth where we talk about issues that concern and pertain the youth. And today we are going to be talking about betrayal and friendships. Friendships are good, but sometimes betrayals also come, and friendships and all of that. And sometimes when betrayals happen, the person who betrayed might come back, and want a second chance in that friendship. And you can get torn in between. Like, if this person betrayed me before in this friendship, is it wise enough to actually accept this person back and keep being friends with that person, or to actually just cut them off once they do anything that betrays your trust and all of that? Because in as much as it's good to have friends and it's good to sustain friendships and keep friendships and all of that, sometimes you have to be wise about certain decisions. And today on Betrayal in Friendships, we are talking about what happens after betrayals. Like, if you should give your friends a second chance after they betray your trust. So the question for you is, should you give your friends a second chance after they betray your trust? Should you give your friend a second chance after they betray your trust? And some people might say yes, because you have to forgive, since no one is perfect, and people make mistakes and all of that. But others would argue that once someone was bold enough, someone was capable, to actually betray you like that and hurt you in the past, then it means the person can actually do it again. And sometimes when you take those friendships back, and maintain the friendship, that person might even do something worse. So while others might say yes, it's okay to just give them a second chance and remain friends with them after betrayal, others would still argue that there is no way you can actually trust someone who betrayed you in the past. You hear statements like once bitten, twice shy. So the next time you know not to give such a person a chance. And other people would even tell you that it depends on the kind of betrayal. It depends on the intensity of what that person did. That is what will determine whether you should actually give a second chance or not. So what do you think? Should you give a second chance to a friend who betrayed you? Should you give a second chance to the friend who betrayed you? You too can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Should we give second chances to friends who betray? Like, is that okay, or is it wise, or is it unsafe? And like I said, some people would say yes, because as long as someone is your friend, then it's more like you have to forgive them for mistakes, whether it's betrayal, no matter the intensity of the situation, then you have to, forgive and remain friends with that person, and then you guys can move on. But for others, they'll be like, anyone who was able to, stab you in the back before, or betray your trust, especially someone you call your friend, then you shouldn't trust the person again. If it's even someone outside, then it's better. But someone who was your friend and who should know you well goes ahead to betray your trust, then you shouldn't trust that kind of person again, because sometimes when they betray you and then come back and try to get second chances, is because they have a plan, a plot to even do something worse to you than all of that. You see this situations like this in friendships, around. It's not even something where you heard my friend did this to me and I could not believe it. My friend went after my man and I could not believe this. My friend sold something I gave to her and I could not believe this. All of that. Things happen like that a lot of times, and one can be caught up like, is it okay? Is it safe to give a second chance to this friendship? Because for the most part, people actually like friends. Sometimes you like that friend and then you don't want to let go of that friendship. Even when they have done something bad to you, you're still left in that denial stage, like, I don't want this friendship to end just like that. But on the other hand, you're still scared, like, if this person could do this to me, then won't it happen again? So what do you think? Should you give second chances to friends who betray you? Should you give a second chance to a friend who betrayed you? Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. You can call in and share with us your thoughts on our topic of discussion this afternoon. And if you have just joined us, this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And today on the show, we are talking about betrayal in friendships, and the question is, should you give a second chance to a friend who betrayed your trust in the past? If a friend has hurt you in the past, has done something to you, like sometimes people would say, well, I'll forgive that friend, but then giving them a second chance to become my friend again, then that's what I cannot do. So are you the type who, do you feel it's safer to just forgive them maybe, but then not give them a second chance to become your friends again? Or is it okay? Because for the most part, you can never be sure, and sometimes depends on person to person, because there are some people that you give a second chance and then they use it well and they will not betray you again. They won't do anything to hurt you again. But there are others that would actually take that as an opportunity to even do something that would hurt you more. But since we cannot read minds, we cannot tell people apart, we can tell people apart, but we cannot tell their intentions, we cannot tell what each person is actually thinking, which side it's safe to be. Should we give second chances to friends who betray us? Do you think that is safe? Should you give a second chance to a friend who betrays your trust or not? Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Call in and share with us. And even if you have an experience, if you have given a friend a second chance before, and maybe they betrayed you again, or did they use it wisely, you can speak from experience as well, because most of the time it's even experience that can guide decisions like this. So if you have experiences like that, where you've actually had a friend betray your trust, and then maybe they try to get back for a second chance and all of that, did you grant them that second chance? Like, did you allow it happen? And when you did, was that something you ended up regretting, or was it okay? Did it turn out to be good, or you're still unsure? And the question remains, should we give second chances to friends who betray us? Do you think that is okay or not? Some people would say yes, it is okay, you should just forgive and move on, and others would say yes, it is not okay, because you can forgive them, but then don't allow them back into your life. So what do you think? Number for you to call us 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Call in and share with us your opinion, because we are trying to be safe out there and be wise, in as much as it's good to have friends, because you can turn into friends for emotional support, even physical support, and all of that. So it's actually good to have friends, and not just for support that you would be getting. It's not just about the support as well, and sometimes you just want that should I say companionship, having someone that you can actually talk to and then relate to, and people to be there for you in times of celebrations or times of anything like that. But what becomes scary is when some friendships go bad, and then you have one friend betraying another friend, things like that. Now one can be really caught up in that dilemma of, should I actually let go of what this person did and then just allow them back in my life? But you still be scared, like, what if I even become friends with this person again, and maybe the person even does worse than he or she did to me before? Imagine if this person had the mind to actually do this. Some people are like that. They won't forget that trauma of, my friend actually did this to me, and I won't trust them enough, to have them back in my life, because they might betray me again, or they might do something even worse than what they did the first time. But then there's this saying of, you have to forgive and forget and move on, which is actually the way to go. But then when you forgive and you actually forget, and you're trying to move on, should you allow those people back in your life? Should you allow those people back in your life to become your friends again? Should you give second chances to friends who betray us? Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Call in and share with us if you think it's okay to give second chances, to friends who betray you or not. Like, should you just end it there at the forgiveness, or actually go back to being friends with that person? Because maybe sometimes some friends are actually nice to you, they'll be good to you, except it comes to one point that something happens, and then they actually just betray you, and then you're caught in that dilemma, like, what should I even take this as? Should I take it as a sign, as this person will keep betraying me and all of that? Should you trust someone like that? People keep saying, well, you cannot trust someone who already betrayed you, right? And enough to become your friend again. But then there's also this saying that you have to forgive, forgive and forget and all of that. So where do we draw the line? Do you just forgive and maybe not go back to being friends with that person, or should you actually go back to being friends with that person, maybe because they have other good things that they were doing? And for the most part, some friendships were good before something bad happened. So like, sometimes you want to look at what happened before. You want to look at how good the friendship was before that person actually betrayed you. But then that or when people even do things nicely, they do things good and all of that. They do nice things, but then when they finally do something bad, it just covers the rest of the good things that they have done, and you start thinking like maybe the whole time that this person was my friend, she was just being nice, or he or she was just being nice, so that he could actually later on betray me like this. And you hear people say she finally showed her true colors, he finally showed his true colors. And I keep wondering, like, this issue of true color, why is that it's only the bad things, though, that when somebody displays, they'll say that's the true color, but if somebody was bad and becomes good, it's never their true color. And that's on a different note, though. If you have just joined us, it's Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm with you on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and this afternoon we are talking about betrayal and friendships. And the question is, should you give a second chance to friends who betray you? Should you give a second chance to friends who betrayed you in the past? Should you still allow them to, become friends with you again? The number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Should you give a second chance to a friend who betrays your trust, in the past or not? You can call in and share that with us. And like I said, friendships are good and all of that, but you have to, play it safe, You have to know what decisions to take at certain spaces, because we all want to be safe out there, in as much as we want to have friends. You also want to play it safe out there, so you don't end up hurting yourself, or you don't end up in the same situation that you were back then and all of that. Hello Okay, so now the question remains, should you give a second chance to friends who betray you or not? Should you go ahead and give them a second chance, or do you think that if you give a second chance, then they would actually maybe betray you again, or even do something worse, or you think that it's going to be fine? So which one is safer to do, or which one do you think is more responsible to do? You can call in and share that with us. The number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Call in and share with us if you think it's okay to give second chances, to friends who betray, or it's not. Is it risky? Because, for the most part, many things are risky, there are a lot of things that are risky. Some you still have to go ahead and do, and some people will tell you that you never know someone's intention. It's possible that if you give that second chance to that person, the person has good intentions, and also it's possible that the person will have bad intentions. So since we cannot actually see through people, what should we do then? Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I am Evangelist Peter Ovanya Chuluma from local government.
All right. Welcome to the show, Evangelist Peter.
And thank you, ma'am.
So what do you think?
You see, as for me, it will hard me to give a second chance.
Okay.
Because I've been hearing that friends hurt others, but I've never experienced it. So it's just a reason as I went to Nasarawa to pursue something like that. So if I get this thing, I will get promotion in life. So this is my friend that take me there. I plan to honor him after getting the achievement. So I need money to complete you just finish the program. So the money I need was more than 10,000. So this my friend now called me and said they will just say I should bring 10,000 naira. Then he will give me the work. So I said, but the money is more than that. How come we just reduce the money to that level? So I usually praise God, say, thank God, God has promoted me without getting the amount of money they will say I should bring it. Then when I send the 10,000, the boy, my friend or best friend just run away with the money.
Okay.
So this kind of thing, as for me, a friend has never hurt me before, but this kind one, I'm not sure I will give you a second chance again.
The person comes out.
But as for me,
Mm.
I forgive, I can forgive and forget back. I'm not sure. So everybody has his own. Thank you, ma.
All right. Thank you so much, Evangelist Peter, for calling in to share that with us. Evangelist Peter actually shared a personal experience, and you can see the impact that some of those actions, those betrayals can actually, have on friends. Sometimes you do something to someone and you might think, well, it's just street. You hear that excuse of it's street life. Street is this, street is that. And then you never know, but you're actually putting that trust issues in them, because you never know, maybe you miss that friendship and then you want to come back to that person, but then the person is not willing to take you back again. So should you give second chances to friends who betray us or not? Hello,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Emmanuel from Air Force Base.
Okay, welcome to the show, Emmanuel.
Thank you.
So what do you think?
You first said at times they betray may not really be a kind of plan issue. Sometimes it may be an ignorance, or maybe somehow we can say a mistake.
Okay.
And if you are with a person as a friend,
Mm.
no matter how there's something that bound you guys together, so you consider the past.
Mm.
Really sometimes they do betray person. There are times maybe there's something that leads to that betrayers.
Mm.
So as for me, I can say, for me, I can forgive. But the fact is, I'll forgive it with my eyes opened in case of instance. Because all my dealings, I can give chance, but also be watchful in case of anything that will come out.
Okay, that means you remain friends with that person, but then you watch out.
Definitely.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for calling in to share that with us. We just heard from Emmanuel, and then he says some of those betrayals, maybe it's not on purpose. But then what of those ones that are on purpose? And how can you even tell whether something is on purpose or not on purpose when you cannot see through that person's mind? And he also says that he can actually forgive the person and then forget, but then to give that second chance, he will also give a second chance, but then wisely, and actually watch. So that distrust there, that doubt that comes after the person has already betrayed you, and now you actually have to watch, can make someone wonder if it's actually worth it. Like, should you actually give second chances to friends who betray your trust or not? Because some people would say, if I give a second chance to someone like that, then I cannot even stay in that friendship peacefully again, because my mind will always be like, is this person also planning something else again? Is he or she planning to do something like this to me again? And that's not even a wrong thought to have, because it's actually possible for you to forgive someone and give them a second chance, and then they'll still be planning evil against you. So what do you think? Would you follow that? Would you say that's part of forgiving and forgetting, and then just taking the person back as your friend will be safe, for peace sake and to maintain that friendship's sake? Or would you give someone that betrayed you a second chance? Should we give friends who betray us a second chance? Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 36485868. Should you give friends who betray you a second chance or not? Do you think it is dangerous, to actually give chances like that? Because we keep hearing, if they are if we are talking about a different issue, then you hear people say like, well, forgive and forget and just take the person back. And then if we come into another topic, someone will say once bitten, twice shy. So if you put those two together now, like what is even safe? Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Kenneth, calling from airport.
Okay, welcome to the show, Kenneth.
Thank you. Will I still give a friend who has betrayed me a chance?
Yes.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
But my giving you a second chance will be with my caution. I will have to be very cautious of you. Because just like I think one of your callers said, with my eyes wide open. Because I've had you as a friend, trusted and believed in you with all of my heart. Then all of a sudden you disappoint me, you betray me. It will take more than me just being maybe a believer or a Christian to forgive you. Like the Bible makes us to understand that it's good to forgive and forget. That as humans, you and I will agree that it's quite difficult to forget, to forgive and forget.
Okay.
Yes, you can forgive, but to forget, it's difficult. Very difficult to just forget. So, as a friend, yes, we will still maintain our friendship, but having you back as a friend like we used to be, it will be very difficult.
Okay.
Very difficult. My eyes will, in fact, be even more than wide open. Because the chance I used to give to you before, I don't think I will be able to do that again.
Okay.
But I will still have you as a friend, and I will forgive you irrespective of what you do to me. I will forgive, but
that
I won't
complete
have you
trust.
back that closely again as a friend.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in to share that with us. We heard him, and he says, that forgiveness part is an essential part. He can forgive them. He's saying like to forgive that friend is okay, but to keep them that close that they can actually still do something to you again is what is not okay. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Timothy from Triple.
Okay, welcome to the show, Timothy. So what do you think?
This is not even about the person doing you wrong. The first thing is, how long have you been with the person? Maybe some relationship have lasted for over 10 years. The person have never done something wrong to you.
Okay.
Maybe along the line he did something wrong and you forget over 10 years of your relationship. No, it's not done.
Okay.
Nobody is perfect. Even if you do not forgive the person and take it back, what makes you feel that the next person you will meet as a friend will not even treat you that way?
Okay.
So there is nothing even thinking about not forgiving. You can forgive, you can move on. If God wants,
hello,
if something should happen to you, it is maybe it's first from God, not even from the person.
Okay.
So see that we are perfect. No.
Oh, okay.
That's my video.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for calling in to share that with us. Timothy is saying, well, you have to consider how long you're being friends with that person. How long, if you've been friends with someone for over 10 years and because the person did something once, then would you forget about all those other times? Now, here is the thing again. Like I was saying, if you talk about another topic, you will hear something like people change. So what if that person you knew back then is no longer the same person, because people can actually change. A good person can become a bad person and you won't know when. You only have access to, seeing that person's face, maybe seeing that person physically, but you don't know what changed inside. So where do you now draw the line? Like, should you just forgive and actually let go of that person? Because there can be trust issues surrounding things like this, and you never know if that was just a first strike. Someone will say if someone strikes you the first time, then you should actually look out or avoid that person, because you never know, that was just let's call it testing. So maybe the second strike, they would not miss it, and all of that. So where do you actually draw the line? Should you give a second chance to a friend who betray you? Should you give a second chance to friends who betray you? Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Should you give a second chance to a friend who betrays you or not. Do you think that is risky to actually give a second chance, or do you think it is okay? Sometimes you like that person, you like that behavior and everything, but we keep saying once bitten, twice shy as well, because if someone had the mind to betray you once, what makes you feel like the person cannot actually do it for the second time? Or should you ignore all of that thought? Is there a certain way to go about it, and ignore all of those doubts and distrust that you might develop and all of that? What is safe? Because in as much as it's good to have friends, they can be your emotional support, physical support, whatever, everything that you can get from friendships, even just being together, knowing that you have a friend, someone to look up to, someone to call on, and all of that. In as much as all these are good, they can be dangerous instances. They can be dangerous things that would happen if a friend actually was able to betray you. Then there might be that doubt, like whether this person might actually do it again, or might actually do something worse, because you can never tell when people are going to change. And some people think that it is okay to actually give a second chance to a friend and take them back as your friend, because maybe it was just a mistake. It was just a mistake, and they may not do it again. We cannot say they will not do it again, because you don't know that. And others say as saying, well, it depends on the situation. Like, it depends on the kind of betrayal, depends on the intensity of what they did, and all of that. And then some people are saying, well, give them a second chance and allow them to remain friends with you, but then you have to actually be vigilant. So what is the essence of that friendship? If you're with someone you cannot trust, where you cannot, maybe the friend stole from you before, then you give them a second chance and you have to remain vigilant, then you drop your pen or you drop your money, and it's your friend. This when you drop something and you say, no, don't worry, it's my friend that's there, so nothing will happen to that stuff. But then you drop your money and you're scared, because that this person has actually done something to me before, something like this. So it's possible that he or she might actually take that money. You can no longer say it's my friend, so nothing would happen again. Hello.
I am Evangelist calling back.
Okay, welcome back, Evangelist.
I like the ways you say that. What is it, being a friend when you didn't trust him much again?
Okay.
Because a friend that hurt you, some of them, even if you forgive and forget, they will say that you are still planning to hurt, to repay back. They will not be, they will be afraid. Okay. So, even if your friend hurt you and you separate with him, it's not bad, though. You didn't hurt him.
Okay.
You people are still, everybody in this world is a friend.
Okay.
Human being, all of them are our friends. But instead of being with your friend and being like a tiger and a lion, is it not better to separate with this kind of friend and be free, and let him also be free?
Okay.
And so I like what you say was a meaning of being a friend with somebody who you are too vigilant with. And people should learn that thing. Thank you, ma. All
right. Thank you so much for calling back, Evangelist, to share that with us. Now, he actually mentioned that one of opening your eyes. You shine your eyes later when being friends. So I was speaking on that, like if you have to shine your eyes, and be vigilant around your friends, what is the essence? Can you still call that kind of person your friends? Because we can hear so many people saying, well, give a second chance, but then actually look around and be watching. Then if you have to watch, you have a friend to actually have your back, right? So if you have to turn back each second, to check your back when it's your friend that is there, can you still call that person your friend? Do you think it's still worth it, or is it too risky to actually give a friend like that a second chance? Should you give a second chance to a friend who betrayed you? Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Should you give a second chance to a friend who betrayed you. You can also call in and share, personal experiences if you've had something like that happen with you, and all of that, and maybe something that you would like to tell people to look out for out there, because it's dangerous everywhere, and we can only filter out the little that we can, from the areas that we can. And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, so you can watch there live as well. And we have this comment on Facebook from Ochedi Ku Ochanya Jasmine, and she says, for me, I have been betrayed so many times, and I will always give you a second chance, but then we won't be like we used to be, and I won't allow you close to me to know my things to avoid another betrayal. My story is long. Now I feel that my story is long part. Sometimes things happen to you and you just don't know what to say. And that comment is from Ochanya Jasmine from Facebook, and she says, well, she has been in that situation several times, and she would always give a second chance but not allow that person too close again. So what is the solution? What is the actual way forward? Because in as much as this is something so personal, if something so personal like that begins to affect a lot of people, like different people at different levels, then it is not something that should be handled like on a personal level again. It's something that should actually be talked about so people can know. So is it to stop being friends with those kind of people to avoid later betrayals, or is it to just maybe continue being friends and then staying vigilant? But is that worth it when you have to be vigilant around your own friends, people that you call your friends? You still have to be checking your back to see if they're about to remove a knife, or how it is. So what is the not risky part to follow? Should you give a second chance to friends who betray you? Should you give a second chance to a friend who betrayed you? Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. You can call in and share with us. You can share experiences. If you've had experiences with friends like that, what did you do, or what do you think is the a wise thing to do? Because we cannot even say the right thing, because you never know which one is going to fail. So what is wise? What is less risky? Hello. Hello. Oh, okay. That person wants me to listen to myself then. If you've just joined us at Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this afternoon we are talking about betrayal in friendships, and we are asking, should you give friends a second chance after they betrayed you? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
It depends on the kind of offense your friend have committed.
Okay, please move away from where your radio is.
Yeah.
Have you done that? Have you moved away from where your radio is? Okay. Maybe move away from where your radio is, or turn down the volume. Then you can call back, because when you stay too close to your radio set, then we can hear you, and it overshadows. I can hear myself, and it overshadows what you are saying. So, should you give a second chance to a friend who betrays your trust, a friend who betrayed you? Should you give a second chance to that friend? Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. And it's about time we'll wrap it up on the show for today. So if you call in fast, you will still catch up with us. And we have been talking about betrayal and friendships, because they are there. It is things that happen, and when they are happening to you, sometimes you might not even know. But if you already have pre-experiences, or maybe you've heard people talk about it and things like that, then you should be able to recognize a pattern, or when you're in a situation, then what kind of steps you should be taking. And at the end of the day, At the end of the day, there is no right answer because you cannot see through everyone's mind. So the most reliable thing to do is just to, if you love that friendship, maybe you keep it, but then shine your eyes. Like people said, we heard what people were saying. You have to be vigilant, because in as much as you want to have friends, you don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to keep getting betrayed and all of that. So at the end of the day, just make sure you're staying wise and actually analyze things well, and maybe come out with the nearest best choice, because it can be hard to make the right choice sometimes. And I've been with you on Speedy Talk this afternoon. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. Keep listening to Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Also coming up next at 4 p.m. is the Speed Lane. And okay, this person was fast. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Engineer Augustine calling from North Bank.
Oh, okay, Engineer Augustine. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I just wanted to relay an incident while we were still with our parents.
Okay, go on.
We had this boy. They were posted in newly, so they developed a kind of friendship with my family. So the other day we now discovered that all of us, we have this open mind that anybody that comes around will just take the person like that. So when we left him in the room, went out, the next time we came back, we discovered that he was feeling uneasy. And then we were like, what's the problem? With time now, we now discovered that he fetched raw rice and hid it inside his pants. I mean, it was somehow, I looked at myself, I said, look, he was older than me. I looked at myself, I said, at my age and personality, I cannot condescend to such a thing.
Okay.
So, with time, actually, we now looked at it like if this chap might not really be a bad person. Maybe he's kleptomaniac. I know kleptomania is it's a psychological disorder. So what we did was that, okay, we allowed him to continue to be our friend, but we knew his downside, and we did not subject him to such a level anymore. We didn't give him that space to be, let me say, to be bad. Because even there is let me say, a popular saying about one of the royalties around the world. She's dead now, but they said she was a kleptomaniac.
Okay.
So it was so bad that they were even considering stopping her from ascending the throne. But what they did was that they now hired somebody to be following her. Anything she steals like that, the person just pays and they continue like that. So it was the same thing we did to this young man. We knew his downside, we knew his limitations, and we made sure we handled him like that. Until today, we are still friends.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Oh, all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Engineer Augustine, for calling in to share that with us. We just heard Engineer Augustine, and he says he gave an incident, of them having a family friend then, and then later on they discovered that he had, bad habits where he would steal, and one day they just found out that he did something like that. But then they looked at all the other things that he was doing, and they said maybe this kid might not be a bad person, but then he has this downside. So what they did was now to watch him closely, and that comes to where people are saying, well, you maintain that friendship, but then you have to be vigilant and all of that. So like I was saying, at the end of the day, it's just for you to be smart and to make the nearest best decision ever, because you don't want to get yourself hurt while trying to maintain a friendship and all of that. And like I said, coming up next at 4 p.m. is the Speed Lane right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I've been with you on Speedy Talk. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. Keep listening to all the beautiful tunes we have lined up for you until 4 p.m. when the Speed Lane comes on.
Hello, my cutie. Asking Radio is here.